Hi, my name is Mackenzie and I'm here with your perfect yoga flow to help you improve your flexibility. I'm standing in this beautiful olive tree grove in southern Italy underneath an ancient olive tree. So today is going to be very relaxing, rejuvenating, and even connecting with the earth. Alrighty folks, whenever you're ready, just roll out your mat and let's get started. Okay, so today we're gonna get started in child's pose towards the back of your yoga mat. This is so cool. I've never had the texture of olives underneath my yoga mat before. So just coming into child's pose, you can bring your knees together if it's more comfortable for you to get a bit deeper, maybe opening up the knees a bit to either side, and then reaching the palms out to the front of your mat. So today is welcome for all levels. If your flexibility, this isn't comfy for you, maybe your butt's a little elevated, feel free to put a pillow or a bolster just underneath your bum to help you sit down onto it. Let's drop our forehead down to the mat. And we're just gonna begin here with a few deep breaths. Let's inhale through the nose. Exhale slowly out through the mouth. A few more times like that. Inhale. And exhale out. You can maybe deepen that breath a bit. Inhale through the nose, draw it into your belly, expand the belly muscles. Feel free to exhale in a sigh down to your mat. A few more times. Inhale. Exhale, release what you no longer need. Once more, let's inhale deeply. And exhale out. Beautiful job. Just breathing on your own time here, breathing normally. Just a few final thoughts before we get moving. Yoga is about so much more than just stretching or flexibility. It's also about clearing your mind. It's about uniting the mind, body, and soul. I often love to take yoga one step further and also say it's uniting with nature, with the beautiful natural environment around us that gives us so much. And today, as I flow atop olives from an ancient tree, I think that's more true than ever. So maybe taking a moment, even if you're in, say, your apartment or in a big city, I guarantee there's a tree, a bush, a cactus, or something nearby. Maybe taking a deep breath and just bringing a little attention, a little connection there. Feeling the natural environment somewhere around you, even the night sky, the soil deep down below. With that in mind, let's roll up to all fours. Let that energy guide you, planting your palms and your knees in your tabletop position. Your hands are right underneath the shoulders, knees right underneath the hips. We're gonna begin here with cat-cow. On your inhale, open up that belly, open up the rib cage and glance up. Inhale through your nose. On your exhale, push the mat away. Curve over, build a little mountain with your spine. Exhale out. A few more times like that. Inhale, drop the chest, glance up. Exhale, press the mat away. Pull your belly button to the spine. So we're really tucking in that core, like sucking it in. And then we release and inhale, open up. Exhale, close everything up. Press the floor away. Inhale, open it back up. Exhale, press it away. Pull the belly button to the spine, warming up the core a bit, arcing through the spine. Inhale, open. We got one more. And exhale, press. Good. After this final cat position, let's just come neutral with the spine. We're gonna open up the right palm to the sky. On your exhale, threading the needle here. So the hand's just gonna tuck right underneath this hole you've made until your shoulder can come down to rest on the mat. So you can play a little bit in this position. I honestly like to rock side to side, especially if I'm just getting warmed up, so I'm not too stagnant. You can hang out here wherever it feels good. If you do want to take this to the next level, reach the left palm up to the sky. Maybe just hang here. You can also bind that left hand behind you, kind of like a chicken wing, reaching for the top of the right thigh. Again, today is an all levels class. Don't feel like you need to take it to the hardest variation. Just find a version that works good for you. Let's take 2 deep belly breaths. Inhale through the nose, expand the belly. Exhale out in a sigh. One more, inhale through the nose, expand the belly. On your exhale, release the bind if you're there. Regardless of which variation you're in, plant the left palm to the mat and press yourself all the way back up to your tabletop position. Let's take it to the other side. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, thread the needle underneath. Coming down onto that left shoulder. Option to just hang here. If you want to reach the right palm up, keeping it here or chicken wing it behind you for a little bind. It's totally up to you. Also, of course, feel free to rock around, find something that feels good. I get a lot of tightness in my shoulders and upper back from sitting at a desk. So sometimes doing this, I gotta find like just the right spot to stretch those upper back muscles. Let's take 2 deep belly breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. Inhale again through the nose. And on your exhale, release the bind. If you were there, everyone planting the right palm into the mat, pressing up into all fours position. Let's tuck the toes behind us, and we're gonna come into our first downward dog. So slowly lifting the hips up. It's okay if you keep those knees super duper bent. I, for one, have been walking around cobblestone city streets, so I'm quite tense today. So maybe keeping those knees bent as you start to stretch the backs of the legs or the hamstrings. If you want to play around a bit, maybe just pedaling out the legs one at a time. This really helps target one calf muscle, one hammy at a time. Maybe swaying your hips side to side. I'm a big fan of not staying so stagnant, again, especially when we're trying to warm up. Wherever you are, knees bent or knees straight, let's find a bit of stillness. Pressing your palms now actively into your mat. Even try to spread your mat forward, so this way. Try to push that mat forward. Now with your feet, really ground those toes, maybe spread them out. Same thing, start to really press your feet down into the earth. Think about roots growing through your hands, through your feet, pulling you down to the mat. And now really send your hips up to the sky. So maybe a gentle arc in that lower back, pressing your chest down, good. So not a passive stretch, no, we're really actively pressing everything to get the deepest stretch. And in my opinion, the deepest grounding of some of the poses. Let's take a deep breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. And again, inhale. And exhale out. Lovely work. Let's walk the feet up towards the palms, bending those knees as needed. Coming into a forward fold at the front of your mat. Again, knees can be nice and bent. Drop your neck and head fully. None of this stuff, let's make sure to relax it. With a big bend in the knees, roll up from the bottom of your spine to the top to the count of 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, I am in the tree. Okay, I'll just stay down here. Inhale, reaching the palms up to the sky. And exhale, let's take a big forward fold. Again, bending your knees as needed. We're gonna take that 2 more times, rolling up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, reaching the hands up. And exhale, forward fold. This is really tree yoga, isn't it? Bending those knees. Let's roll up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Maybe a little bend in the knees, a bit of power. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, forward fold over. Good, let's hang out here for a minute. Bending your knees if needed, if the hamstrings feel a little tight. We're gonna plant the palms into the mat and step back into a very quick plank position. Our core is super important, right? We need to be both strong and flexible to keep happy bones, happy tendons and ligaments. So let's hold our plank for just a second here, pulling the belly button up to the spine, pressing your palms and feet into the mat. Let's inhale. On your exhale, dropping your knees, we're gonna take a slow chaturanga variation. Elbows are tucked into the sides as we slowly lower our chest. Flipping the toes, planting the fingertips. Let's inhale for baby cobra, just lifting the chest a bit off your mat. And exhale, release it back down. 2 more times like that. Inhale, lift as high as is comfortable. And exhale, bring it back down. It smells like olives down here. Inhale, come up 1 more time. And exhale, bring it back down. Planting your palms, we're just gonna reverse it. So press your upper body off the mat and sitting back into your child's pose. Bringing your forehead all the way down to the mat in child's pose. Let's inhale here. And exhale out. Once more inhale. On your exhale, coming back into that tabletop position, tucking the toes and sending the hips up to the sky for another downward facing dog. Excellent job so far. We're about halfway. Let's reach our right leg up to the sky in three-legged dog. Holding here for a second, just feeling that nice big stretch. On your next exhale, draw the knee into the chest first. Start to shift your weight through a plank-like position and then step the right foot between the palms. Perfect. We're going to drop the back knee for low lunge. And now a few different things you can do here depending on your level, what you feel like today. You can just hang out here in low lunge. And some yoga blocks or books are great if this is a really tight area for you in the hip flexor. I have a lot of students like that. So blocks help bring the mat a little closer to you. I don't have any, I'm in an orchard, but you can hold some blocks here or keeping your hands down. You're ready for the next level. You can also bring the hands up to the knee. I do recommend that you keep a bit of engagement in your core so that we don't get any of those super lower back arches. So let's hold here. Final variation would be if you want to reach the hands up to the sky. And let's hold. Inhale. Maybe on your exhale, you have a little drop, a little more of a stretch. Inhale, hold. Exhale, maybe a little bit deeper. Inhale, hold. And exhale, let's drop the hands all the way down. Extending that back leg, so your left leg now is hovering. We're in high lunge. We're gonna just open up the right hand up to the sky for twisted high lunge. Perfect. Inhale, here, hold. And exhale out. Inhale, hold. On your exhale, dropping that right hand back down to your mat. And we're gonna work on straightening the front knee. So having a nice deep hamstring stretch here. If you're struggling, I recommend you maybe bring that left leg a little closer. You can also bend the back knee. Really, whatever feels good. Your goal is to get a nice stretch to the back of the right leg. So wherever you are, making sure to square off the hips. That means both your hip bones are facing forward, not wiggle woggly. And then maybe slowly trying to drop the forehead to the knee. Easier said than done, I know. Let's inhale, hold. Exhale, little drop. Inhale, hold. Exhale, little release. Good job. Inhale, hold. Exhale, little release. Inhale, hold. On your exhale, just dropping that back knee one more time. And we're gonna reach for a quad stretch. So I know some people, if your knees bother you, this one might be a bit much. You can just skip it or do your favorite stretch instead. You can also throw a pillow or a towel, a blanket underneath the supportive knee. Reaching back with your right hand for your left toes. If you can't quite reach it, that's okay. Maybe just trying to grab the heel, the ankle. You can also use a strap to pull it closer. Let's inhale, hold. On your exhale, maybe a little sink. Inhale, hold. Exhale, little sink. Inhale, hold. Exhale, sink. Good job. Inhale, hold. And on your exhale, releasing that quad stretch. And we're going to step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, hold steady. On your exhale, let's roll like an ocean wave. So just rolling through that spine into plank position, dropping your knees, taking a chaturanga variation. So bending the elbows in close to the side, lowering your whole body. Inhale for cobra, lift the chest up. And exhale, bring it back down. Good. Pressing the mat away, lift the upper body up. Tuck your toes and send the hips back into downward facing dog. Let's take that whole thing to the other side. Inhale, reach the left leg up to the sky. Let's hold, have a big stretch here. It feels so good after walking around ancient cities. And pulling your left knee into the chest, shifting through a plank-like position before stepping your left foot between the two palms. We're gonna drop the back knee, your right knee. And again, remember, you can use some yoga blocks here to help you. You can also keep your hands down the mat for this entire sequence. If you wanna join me bringing the hands up to the knee, or the highest level would be to reach the hands up to the sky. Let's hold for 3 breaths. Inhale here. Exhale, release it out. Deep inhale. Exhale out. Deep inhale. On your exhale, dropping those hands down to your mat, we're going to extend the back knee, so raising the right leg up off the mat. planting your right palm and then reaching your left hand up to the sky for twisted high lunge. Few deep breaths here. I recommend you breathe deeply into the belly. Inhale. Exhale, maybe you get a little more of a twist. Inhale. Exhale, a little twist. One more inhale. And exhale, drop that hand back down. We're going to lower the back knee. Oops, sorry, I forgot to stretch. We're actually going to straighten the front knee for a deeper hamstring stretch here. Again, if this is a bit too much for you, feel free to bring those legs a little closer. You can also use blocks. Again, we're just looking to stretch the back of the left leg or the hamstring. Making sure our hips are square. That often means for most people, drawing the right hip forward, sending the left hip back. And let's have a few deep breaths here. Inhale, hold. Exhale, try to relax your upper body down. Inhale, hold. Exhale, drop the upper body a little more. One more time, inhale, hold. And exhale, release. Good, let's come back into that high lunge. Dropping our back knee, we have just a quad stretch left here. Reaching the left hand for the right foot and coming into our quad stretch. Let's take a few deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale out on a sigh. Inhale. When the stretches get hard, I often think about where I'm grounded into my mat. So here, my left foot really pressing down, that knee making strong contact, and then growing up from those areas, kind of like the roots of an olive tree, feeling both grounded and open up to the sky, to the heavens. And look, now our stretch is over. We can release. And we're going to plant the palms on either side of that foot so we can step back into a quick plank and sending the hips up to the sky for downward facing dog. Lovely. Let's take one more ocean wave here. So just rolling through the whole body, through the spine to a plank position. I'm gonna take a full chaturanga dandasana. You can drop those knees if needed. Coming down slowly through a tricep push-up, flipping the toes. Inhale, opening up into a cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, wherever you are, pressing back to our final downward facing dog. Let's inhale, hold. And on your exhale, walking the feet up towards the hands for forward fold at the front of your mat. We're gonna sit right on down to our bums. Use your hands if needed to lower yourself. Putting your feet out towards either front corner of your mat. Inhale, reach forward through the hips. Exhale, let's scoop that spine, work the core a wee bit as we lower with control for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well, this feels fun on the olives. They're pretty soft, don't worry. Drawing the knees into the chest. Let's hold here in a ball and then just coming into a few hip circles. We just have our hips to stretch out yet before the end of this practice. Maybe reversing the hip circles, just lubricating the hip joints a wee bit, massaging that lower back. Good, and then let's go into our figure 4 stretch. So we're gonna plant the right foot onto the mat, cross the left ankle over top of the right leg. So if this is good enough for you, just hang out here. This can already be pretty deep. Again, I'm a pretty flexible person, but I've been walking around old cities with lots of stairs and hikes. I actually feel this pretty good. If you want it a little bit deeper, you can lift the whole thing up off the mat. Use the hands to pull the figure 4 stretch in closer to your chest. Getting a deeper stretch there through the glute and the lower back. Wherever you are, let's take a few deep breaths. Maybe letting that upper body really relax into your mat. Think about gravity tugging you down a bit. And for me, it's always roots of a plant starting to gently reach up and pull me into the soil. On your exhale, try and tug a little closer, working on that flexibility. And then finally, if you want to take this a little further, you can hang out here, or if your leg is still planted, you can continue to stretch from there. If you want to take it a little further, really working on that hip flexibility, let's let the whole thing fall over to the right side of your yoga mat. You can go off the yoga mat into a deeper spinal twist, a little bit of a deeper hip stretch. I'd recommend that you hug this knee into the chest, reaching your left arm out in a T and glancing over your left fingertips. Taking a few final deep breaths in this twist, breathing into your belly. Exhale, sink into the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, sink down. Inhale. And on your exhale, slowly unwinding yourself back to center. We're gonna take a little stretch here of lifting the left leg up to the sky. This is so good for your hamstring flexibility. If you can't straighten the knee, that's your first goal. Flexed left foot and trying to straighten the leg wherever it is. You can use a yoga strap, a belt, a blanket, whatever you need to try to tug it a little closer then. If you can reach your leg, grabbing wherever you can reach with a straight knee optimally and starting to gently pull it in. Now to actually get further in your flexibility, I always recommend that you do these deeper stretches once you've gotten a little bit warm, like now at the end of a practice. And on your inhale, hold where you are, just try to relax. On your exhale, that little bit of space you create by emptying your diaphragm allows you to pull even a few millimeters closer. So I'm kind of exaggerating so you can see it, but it might be a tiny movement for you, and that's okay. This is how we work on flexibility day by day, a wee bit at a time. Let's inhale, hold. Exhale, gentle tug. Inhale, hold. Exhale, gentle tug. The bigger the breath, the bigger the movement after. Inhale. Exhale out, gentle tug. One more inhale. And exhale out, good. Let's release that stretch. We're gonna take that whole sequence to the other side. Left foot is planted, right ankle's gonna cross over the left leg, coming into our figure 4 stretch. If you wanna hang out here, that is perfect. If you wanna raise the whole thing, reaching the hands to pull it in closer to your chest. Let's take a few deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, release tension through the body. For me, I know I actually have to focus on releasing tension in my upper body here. I tend to hold my tension in my neck and shoulders. Inhale, hold. Exhale, sink into your mat, tug it closer. Inhale, hold. And exhale out, good. So again, you can hang out here if you want to go a little deeper, letting the whole figure 4 fall to the left side of your mat. Maybe tugging in that right knee to your chest, and then reaching your right hand out and looking over those right fingertips. Let's take a few deep belly breaths here while we're in a bit of spinal twist and compression. Inhale to the belly, and exhale out. Inhale to the belly, and exhale out. Deep inhale to the belly. Good. On your exhale, just unwinding the spine slowly. Remember, we're gonna reach the right leg right up to the sky. There goes an olive falling off my foot. And again, first goal is to try to straighten the knee with a flexed right foot. You can use a yoga strap or a belt if you can't quite reach the leg to help draw it closer. If you can reach your leg, again, trying to straighten the knee and then slowly starting to tug it in closer to your chest, reaching wherever you can. Let's take a few breaths here. So on your inhale, hold. On your exhale, use that bit of space to tug it closer to your chest. Inhale, hold. Exhale, gentle tug. Inhale, hold. Exhale, pull it closer. Inhale, hold. Exhale, gentle pull. Finding your little edge here. Inhale, hold. And exhale, last little tug. Excellent work. Let's come into Happy Baby as our final stretching yoga asana. Happy Baby can be whatever you really want it to be to feel happy on your back here. You can just hook around the knees if that works for you. If you have a little more of a reach, you can grab your ankles or even the inside or outside of your feet, whatever works for you. Just opening up those hips, drawing the knees down towards the ground. Again, maybe if you're comfortable with the metaphor of it, thinking about some roots, starting to very gently caress your diaphragm, maybe starting to go over your knees, just starting to gently and kindly tug you down towards the ground, making you feel secure here, maybe connected to something older and more ancient, something green and alive. Having a few final deep breaths in this hip opening stretch. So lovely for our hips and lower back, especially if you're doing a lot of walking or sitting at a desk. Relaxing not only through the hips and legs, but also through the neck and the shoulders, sinking into your yoga mat. Excellent job here today. Really slowing down now. Maybe picturing yourself at your happy place, whether that is an olive tree orchard in the south of Italy off the Mediterranean, which, let's be real, that sounds pretty amazing. Or if it's somewhere else, maybe in a forest somewhere, on your favorite beach. Maybe it's in your favorite reading nook or favorite cafe. Maybe feeling those smells, the comforting aroma of the area. Wherever that happy place is for you, let's come into our final resting pose, Savasana. I think I'm gonna take it in supine butterfly pose today, which just means I'm keeping my knees open, my feet together. But you can also go extended into a full corpse pose. That's just when your legs are extended out. And let's take a few final deep breaths here, just relaxing deeply. Inhale. Exhale out. Inhale. Exhale out. Inhale, picture yourself connected to whatever is your happy place. Exhale out. If your happy place is somewhere alive, like a beach, a forest, an olive grove, maybe picturing those plants connecting with you, communicating on a deeper level. You are part of something so much bigger than yourself. There is so much beauty, greenery, so much life out here. It's absolutely waiting for you to slow down and breathe it all in. You can absolutely stay here as long as you would like today. I am going to wrap up the video. Just bringing my knees together if you are in that supine butterfly pose. Rolling onto one side. And then slowly just sitting up to any cross-legged position that's comfy for you. The flies apparently have found me, but that's okay. We're almost done. And let's take 2 final deep breaths here. Inhale, reaching the hands up to the sky, to whatever beautiful tree of life is nearby. And exhale, bring the palms down through center. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Cultivate all your beautiful energy today. You did such a lovely job taking care of your body, your mind, and your soul, and also hopefully the earth. Namaste, folks. Thank you so much for joining me here in this absolutely beautiful land of agriculture and history. I hope to see you again sometime soon. I'm going to be filming a few more classes here the next few days, so stay tuned for those. And of course, my other yoga and Pilates videos online. Liking, commenting, and subscribing really makes a big difference. I'm really just getting started here, so if you can spread word of mouth or add some comments and share, it could make all the difference for my future and being able to get more videos like this out to people like you. Thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of your day.